Hey guys, I'm super excited to be back and making a brand new video, which is something I say every single week, and I should really probably get like a new intro. No, I'm not gonna get a new intro statement because I am. I'm super excited to be back and making a brand new video, especially because this week has just been boring. I really haven't left the house much. I really haven't had a ton of social interaction with other people. And yesterday I spent a lot of time thinking about bad habits. I was thinking about other people's bad habits, how there's always that one lady who spits when she talks, or that one guy who just doesn't understand personal space, and how everyone has that one thing that kind of sets them apart, and they can't help it. It's a bad habit. It's unintentional, you know? But they're like known for that. Like they're known to spit when they talk or stand too close to you. And I was trying to figure out what my bad habit was. Like what is the thing that just sets me apart, that is just really terrible, that I do that just always comes back to bite me in the butt. And at about 3 o'clock this morning, I realized what it was. I have the worst habit ever. I am the queen of laughing at inappropriate times. Today's video is just going to be me kind of counting down all of the times that it has absolutely ruined my life. So the first thing on my list is what I like to refer to as the funeral incident. It already sounds super promising, doesn't it? My dad is a pastor, so a good portion of my childhood was spent in a church. And when I was in the 5th grade, my school bus would actually drop me off at his church, and then I would just go in through a side door and wait in his office until he was done working, and then he would take me home. Great system, never failed. Until one day, when my dad told me, you know, you have to go through the side door today. Like, don't go through the sanctuary, go through the side door, wait in my office until I get there. It's really important that you do this. But I was a little rebel. I should also mention that this was the height of my Lion King phase. I loved the Disney movie Lion King. It was my life and blood. So on this day, my school bus drops me off, and instead of going through the side door, I was like, I'm gonna just walk through the sanctuary. It's gonna be great. But like all the way up to the doors of the sanctuary, I'm thinking about the Lion King because it's the best movie ever. And I don't know why I did what I did next. No one's ever gonna know why I did what I did next. But for whatever reason, I kicked the door of the sanctuary open, and I mean, used my foot, kicked it open, and with all of the heart and soul I had, scream out at the top of my lungs, "It's the circle of life!" And only then do I stop to actually open my eyes and take in my surroundings and realize that I am standing in the middle of someone's funeral. And for whatever reason, I start to laugh. I just think it's so funny. My dad didn't think it was funny. The family of the deceased did not think it was funny. They thought it was inappropriate. But I thought it was hilariously ironic. And now, every single time I'm at a funeral, doesn't matter whose funeral it is or how close I was to them, at some point during the service, I will hear ringing through my ears, "The circle of life," and I will start to laugh. Second thing on my list, it's so horrible. This is actually the most reoccurring one, and the one that actually gets me the most. And it's doctor's appointments. So you know when you go into a doctor's office and they have you wait in the waiting room, and there's always like a whole wall of brochures? There's something about stock photos for medical brochures that I just think they are so hilarious. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where there's like a brochure and it has a photo of a lady getting her blood pressure taken, but she's like smiling from ear to ear and super happy about it. My brain takes those photos and puts them under the category of comedy gold. I register that they're hilarious, but my reaction is just really slow to them, because I'll wait until the worst possible moment to get the giggle fits. Like, I'll be solid as a rock the whole doctor's appointment, but then as the needle's going into my arm, or as the dentist's fingers are going into my mouth, all I can see is those ridiculous stock photos. And then I start giggling uncontrollably, and then I look like an absolute psychopath. I mean, gynecologist appointments are terrifying. But the worst time to laugh inappropriately is when your friends are trying to tell you something serious. And I try so hard to be that friend that everyone can go to if they need something, and I like try to, fork out good advice and be loving and caring. But I'm not always really good at it. It's really bad, because every time a friend comes to me and says something like, I'm pregnant, or I have a terminal illness, for whatever reason, one of three things will pop into my mind every single time. The first is the fact that the Queen of England farts. I don't know why, but I think that's hilarious. Like, it's just super weird to think about. The second is that episode of Full House where Danny Tanner tries to join a band so he can impress DJ, and he's like singing My Generation and wearing those weird clown pants. Do you know what I'm talking about? And the third thing that pops into my mind is the mental image of Edward Scissorhands trying to eat crab legs. Just picture that. I mean, seriously, I'm gonna give you time to picture Edward Scissorhands trying to eat crab legs. I'll wait. Tell me that's not the most hilarious thing you've ever thought of. And that's what pops into my mind when people are trying to tell me serious things and have heart-to-hearts. And then I look like an ass because I'm laughing at Edward Scissorhands trying to eat crab legs, and they're trying to tell me about how they don't know what they're doing with life and how everything's scary and terrifying, and people have they've just stopped coming to me with major situations. Is it a terrible coping mechanism? Yes. Is it inefficient? Absolutely. But you know what? There it is. That's all I've got. I am the worst kind of person. Oh well.